All right, hello everybody, welcome. Let's go ahead and get started. So if you need anything, go ahead and grab it really quick. Blanket, pillow, water, anything like that, go ahead and grab it. We'll get started actually on our backs today, okay? So go ahead and lie down. Okay, go ahead and bring the bottoms of your feet a little bit wider, so maybe even they come up to touch the ends of the mat. Okay, and then just bring those knees together to touch. I don't want those knees just hovering in the air. I want them actually together, so you can kind of relax through those hips. You can kind of even grab onto the sides of your hips and pull that muscle, that push out of the way. Just really feel yourself supported by that tailbone. Go ahead and rest one hand on the chest, one hand on the stomach. Just close down those eyes. Taking that really big breath in through the nose, letting that belly expand first. And a big expansion through that rib cage, filling up those lungs, and then open the mouth and sigh out that breath. Big breath in, and sigh it out. Big breath in, filling up those lungs as much as you can. You get to the top, see if you can pull in even more air. And exhale it out. Now close down the mouth. Start to breathe in through the nose. Again, do that big breath in and out through the nose. Just slowing down that exhale, just as long as that inhale. Just really focusing on that breath. Just focusing as we focus and inhale and exhale. Random touches begin to melt away. They might come back in just a few seconds. It's pretty normal, that's common, but just try and notice that. As soon as the mind wanders, just come right back to that breath. See if you can make that clear space between thoughts longer and longer. Now we're going to bring those arms out to that T. Walk those feet, they're about hip distance apart. Okay, those legs, shins are all parallel to each other. And from there, we're just going to drop those knees over to the right side. Keeping that left shoulder grounded down. So you may not be able to go very far. Then bring the knees back to center, and we'll switch. So just dropping the knees over to that left side. This right shoulder is going to stay down. Good, inhale, bring it back to center, and then drop the knees over to the right again. Inhale it back to center. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, center. Last time, exhale, over to the right. Inhale, center, and to the left. Good, inhale, bring it back to center. Okay, now we're just going to lift those knees up. So the knees are stacked over the hips. Shins are parallel to the ground. You can flex those feet. Keep those arms out to that T. Now we're going to bring the knees over to that right side. Just cover the knees. Okay, we're using that core. Think about abs are tight. That low back, I know it is going to lift it off the mat, but really keep it nice and flat. Try not to arch to that low back. Bring the knees back to center. Now at this point, really make sure that low back is flat on the mat. Okay, we'll drop the knees over to that other side. We just cover. And inhale, bring it back to center. And exhale, get over to the right side. Using that core, bring it back to center. We'll go over to the left. Bring it back to center one more time. Over to the right. And center to the left. And center. And just go and hug those knees into the chest. You rock from side to side. And I'll bring those arms just right down by the ground. And stacking knees over the hips, shins parallel to the ground. Back is nice and flat on the mat as we extend that left leg down. You're just hovering that foot as close, or the heel as close to the ground as you can. Bring that knee back to center. We'll switch sides. Right leg extends down. Good. Bring it back to center. Left leg down. Inhale it back up. Right leg down. Inhale it back up. Take one more time each way. Left leg lowers down so that leg's extended. Making sure that low back is flat. Bring it back up. Go the other side. Right leg lowers down. And check. Make sure that low back isn't lifted. Bring it back to center. Now we're going to have the arms. Reaching those arms up. Palms will face each other. We're going to extend that left leg down. Right arm is going to reach up overhead. Bring it back to center. And switch. Right leg lowers down. Left arm reaches up over our head. Bring it back to center. Right hand, left leg, pause. Back up. Extending, switching right leg, left arm. As we pause here, check, make sure that low back is flat. Bring it back to center. We're going to go one more time each way. Extending through the left leg, right arm. Back to center. Switching side. Right leg, left arm. And bring it back to center. Hug the knees in. Just find that gentle rock from side to side. And start to rock forward and back. Get a little momentum. We're going to come all the way up to a seat and just extend those legs out. Okay. So you want that nice flat back. We're flexing through those feet. We're reaching those arms up overhead. And then hinging from the hips, keeping that back as flat as you can. You need to bring your knees all the way up to here to get that back flat. That's fine. Okay. So if you grab on to the shins, maybe the ankles, maybe you can reach down and grab onto those toes. And lift through the chest. Take a breath in. Gently pressing those heels, and then maybe fold it forward a little bit more. The teachers are super tight. Okay, don't force anything here. It's just beginning this practice. So just letting the body open up, warm up. Relax naturally, not forcing anything. Make sure we're breathing. And then rise back up. Go ahead and cross those legs. Go and roll over those shins. We're going to come onto those hands and knees. So into that tabletop position. We're spreading those fingers out wide. Pressing into those palms. Pressing into those fingertips. Now on that inhale, we're going to drop the bellies. Lift the chest. Lift the elbow blades up. And exhale, we'll round that spine. Press the shoulder blades away. Draw that belly up and just look towards those thighs. Drop the chest, lift the tail, to the up. And exhale, round. And inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, round. Now bring it back to neutral. Spine, toes together. Knees a little bit wider. Send those hips back to the heels. As we rest our head down into that child's pose. Now, if you're feeling a little tight to that upper back, you can start to bend into those elbows and bring your palms right in between those shoulder blades. And then you want to bring your knees a little bit wider and then soften that chest down towards the mat. So now reach those arms back out long. Plant those hands as we come back up onto our hands and knees. Go ahead and step those feet back to our full length. Get that core is nice and tight. Nice and flat through those hips. Squeezing those legs, squeezing those glutes, that neck is neutral. So maybe even looking towards the fingertips. If you need to, you can always lower down onto those knees. Stay with that breath. Really strong through the bar. We're going to stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sending those hips up to the side. Downward facing dog. Just take a few breaths and allow them to sway those hips. So now inhale on the chest. Bend into those knees, stepping those feet to the top of the mat. Inhaling that half lift. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Just let the head hang nice and heavy. So inhale, we're going to bend into those knees, flatten out that back
press all the way up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. And exhaling those hands to press. Good, inhale, reach those arms back up. Sliding that right hand down as we reach that left arm up and over. Inhale, bring it back up. And switching sides, so sliding that left hand down, right arm reaches up and over. Good, inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, we'll find that foot. Inhale, that half foot. And exhale, the hands down. So inhale, bend to the knees, flat, knock that back as we rise back up. We'll bend to the right. Inhale it up, over to the left. And inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, we'll fold it forward. Nice flat back. Reach down, maybe touching the toes, shins, maybe even the ankles, a little bit in between. And then exhale, plant those hands down. We're going to step those feet all the way back to our plank. Shift the weight forward, so shoulders right over those fingertips. Lower the knees down, and keep moving over into that push. Keep pointing those toes. We're going to roll the shoulders down and back, lifting up into that cobra, or maybe you find that you can press all the way up into that upper rock. One of the big things here is just don't let those shoulders collapse in all those ears. Lifting up, getting really long through that spine, reaching up to the top of the head, holding those shoulders down and back to the chest. And exhale, send those hips back up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths, pedal those feet. And now inhale on the toes. Bending those knees, step those feet, top of them. Inhale the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reaching up top. Side stretch over to the right. Inhale it back up. Exhale it to the left. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale that nice flat back, fold it forward. Inhaling the half lift. And exhale, we'll land those hands down, stepping those feet back to our plank. Shift it once we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhaling those hips back to the sky, downward facing dog. One more breath. So now inhale on the chest. Bend into those knees, stepping those feet up to the top of the mat. Bring those big toes together to touch. Inhaling that half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, we're going to rise up to standing. So reach up nice and tall. And exhale, slide those hips down into that chair. So that core is nice and tight. Hips are sinking down. Now we're going to draw those elbows out to the side, lift through the chest. You can touch those shoulders. Inhale, reach it back up as you sink things slow up. Drawing those hips down, drawing the elbows down. Inhale it back up. And exhale, draw the elbows down. So we're going to try and interlace those fingers behind the back. So we're going to bring those palms to face each other. We draw those knuckles down first, open up through that chest. We can bring those hands away from the hips. Take the hips down a little bit lower. One more breath. And we're going to release those hands as we reach up nice and tall. And exhale, we're going to fold it forward. Now, finding that flat back. And we're going to bend a little bit deeper into that right knee. So the chest is lifted back as flat as we twist, reaching that left arm up. So if you notice, we're not swaying out to one side. We're going to keep those hips in right behind those shoulders, straight line. And then lower it down as we fold. Finding that flat back on the inhale, bend into that left knee. That right arm is going to reach up. And lower those hands down as we finish that head hang. And bend to those knees for that back, rise up to standing, reach it up tall, then exhaling those hands to your side. Okay, we're going to pick up that left leg, we'll pull that knee to the chest, a little bit of balance here, tight through that core, gripping those toes into the mat. Okay. Now this left leg, we're pulling that knee up as high as we can, we're flexing that foot. And now we're going to take a big, just Step back into that warrior one. So the toes are turned up just slightly. We're not rolling into the arch. We're pressing into that outside edge of the feet. We're gripping with the toes. We're gripping with the heels. Pulling those feet to the toes and the heels towards the midline to really lift through those arches. Now from here, once we have those feet, we're going to pull that right hip back, left hip forward, rib cage pulls down, bend into that front knee, and then we'll reach those arms overhead. Okay, relax the shoulders, core tight. Keep breathing. Okay, now draw those elbows down. You're going to interlace those fingers, open up through that chest, and then on that exhale, start to hover. So maybe you're right here, okay? Or maybe you can bring that rib cage to your thigh. Maybe that shoulder comes all the way down to your neck. See if you can bend that front knee a little bit more. Then we're going to release those hands as we rise up. Okay, we're going to straighten the front leg. So think about we're coming kind of into a modified warrior two stance. So we're kind of angled. Okay, we're going to reach the right arm up and then lean it back. Okay, so I'm not arching. That's not a back bend. Okay, I'm more rotated open. So my shoulders are stacked. Feel that stretch all along the right side arm. Okay, now we bend into that front knee, lower that forearm down, and then reach that left arm over the top. So we're rotating that chest open, bending into that front knee. Now, we're gonna hold this a little bit. So if you want to make it more of a natural warrior two stance, you can slide that left leg back a little bit more, really sink into that front knee. Try and get that thigh parallel to the ground if you can. Okay, not a lot of weight on this arm. You want to be able to send that arm out. You don't have to do that, but that's the idea. You're really using the legs to open up through the chest and to hold your body up. One more breath. Now we're going to circle that arm down, plant those hands, and step down, foot back, and then move through that vinyasa. Slow it down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, those hips to the side, downward facing dog. Now inhaling on the toes. Bend into those knees, step those feet, top of the mat. Inhaling the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend to the knees, flatten out that back, rise up to standing. Sink those hips down into that chair. Draw those elbows down, open up through the chest. Good, inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw down. Inhale, reach it back up. And exhale, draw it down. Interlace those fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. Sink this down a little bit more. Give it a release those arms. Stand up tall. And fold it forward. And those twist again. So flatten out the back, bending into that right as we twist the left arm, reaches up. And lower it down as you fold. Other side, bend into that left knee. Right arm reaches up. And bring that arm down as we fold. Inhale, we're going to rise to see. Reach it up nice and tall. And exhaling those hands press up. We're going to be on that left leg. We're going to draw that right knee. So we're gripping with the left toes. Okay. Strong fist legs. We're squeezing the glutes, squeezing the quads. Calf, the foot, all really active. Pulling that right leg up, maybe a little bit higher. Now we're going to take that big step back. So grounding that back heel down. You want a step that's just long enough so you can get that heel down and feel that stretch in the calf. So if I go much farther, I can't get my heel down. Okay, so I just press short and maybe half inch or so that heel is grounded down. You can square those hips off. Same idea, gripping with the toes, pressing the heel into the mat, and pulling towards the midline. Lift through the muscles of the feet, through those arches. Bending into that front knee, squaring those hips off a little bit more. You're going to draw those elbows down. Interlace those fingers. Open up through that chest. And exhale, we'll fold it forward. So just bring that rib cage to your back. Shoulders to that knee. Maybe just cover that chest. And then we'll release those hands as we rise back up. So we can straighten that front leg. Tee up those arms and reach that arm up and back. So get not a back bend into more of that side stretch. All along that left side, always reach up and back, maybe even looking up towards that left top. So one more breath. And we'll retain off those arms. We bend into that front knee, heel to walk that foot back a little bit more into that warrior two. And lower that forearm down as we sweep that right arm forward, keeping that chest nice and open. We bend into that front knee as much as you can, keeping that core nice and tight so we get not a lot of weight in this body. Awesome. Strong those legs. Maybe sinking that thigh down to its parallel to the ground. One more breath. And then we'll rotate that hand down as we step those feet back to our plank. Shift that forward, lower. Inhale, lift. And then exhale. Just go ahead and send those hips right back to that downward facing dog. Knees can be as wide as you like. Arms can reach forward. Maybe you bend into elbows. Pat yourself on the back. Go ahead and release those arms back out. Go ahead and rise back up onto those hands and knees, stepping it back into that downward facing dog. A few breaths in down dog. Now inhale on the toes. Bend into those knees. Step those feet up to the top of your mat. Flat back on the inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend into those knees. We're going to rise up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. And then exhaling those hands to heart center. So, two options here. One, you can work on your balance, okay? Or if you want to go stand next to somebody, I'm just going to use my wall right here. Okay, we're going to stand onto our right foot. We'll start to bend into this left knee. Okay, so we're going to reach for it. Now, if you need to grab on or bring the knee out wide to grab onto the foot, that's fine. But bring those knees together as best you can. Okay, now, as we go into this, we want to try to avoid arching through that low back. We're going to pull that rib cage down, really tighten the core, scooping that tailbone down and then forward. Okay, so if you have a little bit tighter quads, as soon as you do that, that knee probably will shoot forward like mine just did, which is okay. But then from there, keeping everything nice and tight. Start to press the foot into the hand. Start to pull that knee back a little bit more. We want to feel it stretch through the front of the leg, through that hip flexor. Sit all day, it tends to get a little bit tight. So spend just a little bit of time here. Again, you can be a balanced posture, you can hold on to something. Up to you. Just stay really active. Pressing that foot into the hands, feeling that nice stretch. Maybe a big stretch through that front of that left quad. You can send that leg back a little bit more. Release that foot down. Ankles, you can. We'll go and switch sides. So bring that weight into that left foot. We're going to bring that right knee up. So get the knees can come wide to grab onto it, but zip those knees together. Pull that rib cage down, tailbone down. So knees come forward. That knee comes forward. That's all right. Okay, we're just going to from there. Keep this tight, pressing that foot into the hand and draw that knee back as best you can. So the first couple of seconds, it might be really, really tight. You're not getting that knee at all, but stay with it. Really focus on that breath. You might find it softens, it relaxes. Maybe just a little bit, just enough to pull that knee back a tiny bit more. Keep breathing. You can work on pressing that foot back into it to make it a little bit more active. We press the foot into the hand. Pause there, so it's a little bit more active. And we can relax it, and maybe we can get a little bit more stretch. We can get that heel a little bit closer to the glute. Walk a little bit more. Let's stay with the breath. 3 more breaths here. Stay tall, 4 times. The last big breath in. Release that foot down. Just having those feet. Stretch your arms. ankles, toes. And now, if you're at the top of the mat, just go ahead and take a big step back. Doesn't really matter which leg you step back with, but walk those feet as wide as you can, and then turn those toes in. So with the outside edges of the feet parallel to each other. You can bring a slight bend into those knees. We press those hips back, lowering those hands down to the mat. Flatten out that back on the inhale, and exhale, we'll fold it forward. So walking those hands back as far as you can. If this is really, really tight, you need to bend those knees a little bit more, or maybe even a lot, a bit more, you can. Flex those quads a little bit, and then walk those hands back. Just let that head hang heavy. And we lengthen back out, so flatten out that back. Come onto those fingertips, blocks might come in handy here too. We're gonna turn those toes out just a few degrees. We're gonna lunge in as far as you can over to, we'll go your right side, my left side. We're gonna pull this other toe up and can. Big thing here, make sure that this heel is staying down. Yeah, sometimes if you pop that heel up, you can get all the way down here, but we're not really getting much of a stretch. So stay here, a little bit more activation through that leg, also stretch. It's a little bit better for your knees too. And then bring it back to center. We'll go over to that other side. So lunge on over. Keep that heel down. Chest is lifted. As we keep that heel down, also working that ankle mobility a little bit too, keeping that chest up. Good. We'll bring it back to center and then go over to the other side. It's just lunging as much as you can. Those hips can be all the way up here. You don't have to be down here just yet, or maybe not ever. Hey, as long as you're feeling a stretch through here, a little stretch through this. That knee too. As long as we're breathing, we're doing just fine. Okay, now bring it to center. And then we'll go over to that left side. Couple breaths. Do it one more time each way. Bring it to center. Go over to the right. And center. Over to the left. And bring it back to center again. Turn those toes in. And then exhale, fold. Just gazing between those legs. If your body is allowing, and you can even shake that head. Yes, release that tension in the neck, in the shoulders. Inhale, we'll rise back up. All the way up. We're going to step those feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, reaching those arms up, pressing the hips forward. Then exhale, fold. Finding that flat back on the inhale. And then stepping those feet back. Shift the weight forward as we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, send those hips back to the sky. Downward facing dog. Really pressing those hips up towards the ceiling, pressing those heels down towards the mat, keeping that nice straight spine. Active through those fingertips, pressing into the palms, pulling those forearms towards each other. So press that belly a little bit closer to those sides. One more big breath here in down dog. Yeah, then make your way onto those knees. Just go ahead and turn it so we're on our backs. We're going to pull those knees into the chest. We rest that head down. Just giving those knees a nice little squeeze as we gently rock from side to side. Now lower those feet down. We're gonna press into those heels. Okay, grip those toes. Hands can just be right down by your sides. Okay, so we want that back to be really flat on the mat. The first thing we're gonna do is just lift those hips up off the mat so the tailbone hips are lifted. Then continue to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Think about your tailbone is leading all the way up, scooping that tailbone forward, way to the tailbone forward. Core is tight. Now we're trying to pull the spine down to rotate that tailbone. Slowly roll it back down. Tailbone is going to be the last thing that lowers. We're going to cross that right ankle over. Bring those arms out to that T. And we're going to drop those knees over to the right side. So left shoulder is sitting. So if you think whatever the leg that's on top, we're going to point that knee to that direction of the body. Bring the seats back to center. We're going to switch sides. Just crossing that left ankle over that right thigh. Right shoulder is going to stay down. And bring those knees over to that left side. Maybe even looking over to that right. So then bring the knees back to center. Go and uncross leg, hands out on attention. Bring up one last hip bridge. So press into the feet. Lifting the tailbone. Roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Stretching this hips as high as you can. Maybe feel a little bit of a stretch through the hip flexors and those quads. Slowly roll it back down to the last thing that lowers. We're going to hug that right knee into the chest, extending that left leg out long. And with that left hand guide, that knee crosses up. Right arm reaches out into that spinal twist. So take that big breath in, hold that twist. And as we exhale, maybe find a little bit more softening, a little bit more twist. Don't force it, just let it happen with the breath. And just try and make sure that this right shoulder blade is staying down on the ground. Close down your eyes here, just breathe, soften into this as much as you can. Bring that back to center. Just switch sides. We'll hug that left knee in. That right leg will extend out. So straighten yourself up too if you got a little bit crooked on the mat. With that right hand, we're going to guide that knee across. Left arm reaches out. Left shoulder stays down. As we soften into that twist. Big breath in. Exhale, soften. Bring that back to center. We're going to hug both knees into the chest. You just give it a gentle rock from side to side.
that stillness. Bring it around that spine. So lift those hips up, lift the shoulders up, curl into that ball, bring that forehead as close to the knee as you can. We'll extend those legs out, reach those arms up overhead, full body stretch, fingertips all the way down through those toes. Big, big, big reach. Take one more big breath in. And exhale those arms down. But this time, palms will face up as we go into that resting posture. So if you want to walk those legs out a little bit wider, maybe bring those arms out a little bit wider. Just staying here for a few moments. Just letting yourself relax. Breathe. Just letting yourself be completely still, completely relaxed. Begin to deepen the breath. Just gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then we'll reach those arms overhead, that full body stretch, fingertips all the way down to the toes. Big, big reach. And then exhale, we'll curl those knees into the chest. You keep those arms overhead. Just roll over onto that right side. So that right arm is going to support the head. The left arm just falls in front, so we're completely resting on our side. Just gently press yourself up into that comfortable seat. Just sitting up nice and tall. We'll pause it for a few breaths here. Just resting those palms on your knees. Sitting tall, rolling your shoulders down. Take a big breath in through the nose. And exhale, sigh it out. Big breath in. And exhale out. And then inhale those arms. Palms will meet. Exhaling those hands to heart center as you bow your head. Thank you guys so much for being here with me this evening. Namaste. All right. Thanks, guys. So if you are interested, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., there's a 25-minute kind of wake up, really slow moving, breathing. Just kind of get the body up and moving tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And then again, it's Sunday, there we go, at 9:30. A little bit slower too, but we will get up, get moving a little bit more than we do on Thursday, but nothing too challenging or too over the top. So looking forward to you guys joining for that. Hey, have a great night.